So it is Thursday. I ended up shooting around earlier today. Had a nice little time shooting around, getting a little sweat in, and just working on different shots. I still love basketball after all these years. I started playing when I was 9 years old. Didn't play organized ball ever, except for like in some rec leagues, men's leagues, in my 20s. But other than that, I played intramurals. I did play for like the Salvation Army team for people that didn't make the high school team or didn't what weren't on the team for whatever reason. I could have made my high school team. I know that for a fact because I talked to the coach who was going to put me on the team the year that I dropped out of high school. I had been working out with the team, and before I dropped out, I've been working out consistently, playing ball on Sundays, and I should have known something was up because the coach had me guarding what was I think considered the best player on the team. He had me guarding him, and I was lifting weights and stuff. This is back in like, man, what year was this? 1999, and I was working hard. And so I would work out with the team on Sundays. We'd play, and then on Mondays I'd work out, lift weights, and Wednesdays I'd work out, lift weights, and just was doing that. And after I would work out and lift weights on Mondays and Wednesdays, I would go to McDonald's, and because I had read that you need protein and the carbs after you work out, and so I would go to McDonald's and I get like a 20-piece nugget. Back then it was like $5 or something like that, or I think Big Macs were like 2 for 2 at the time. They had a special, so I would get that. And in '99, I remember, or around that time period, there had been several high school athletes who had dropped dead playing their sport um, due to heart conditions, unknown heart conditions, and that was always a fear, for individuals playing sports, and for me in particular, that year, I when I was working out, going to McDonald's and stuff, I started experiencing these chest pains, and I was terrified, and it all culminated. One day, I ended up calling the ambulance because I felt weird and my blood pressure was really high, and so that particular year, I was, going to try out for the team. I had been a superior honor roll student all the way up to 10th grade when I started skipping school. And so this was my fifth year in high school, and I decided, you know what, this is the year I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go out for the team. I'm gonna get my grades back up. And so, like I said, I was working out with the team, and then the night of basketball tryouts, I ended up in the hospital, and I ended up the next day. They couldn't figure out why my blood pressure was high. Now I believe it was because of the McDonald's, at least partially. And but anyway, and I ate a lot of junk food, but I was always had a low body fat percentage, so I just figured I could eat it. But um, so the night of tryouts, I was in the hospital. The next day, they did this stress test, and they have you get on the treadmill and run. And I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna run as hard as I can, and if I perish, I perish. And I did. They found out nothing was wrong with my heart, and but they put me on this medication for blood pressure, and I ended up taking this medication, and it made me so dizzy that I couldn't even concentrate in school. I couldn't focus anymore, and now I remember my dad at the time talking to me and saying, "Hey, son, why don't you go talk to the coach and just let him know you were in the hospital, and he might be able to work something out." And because I missed tryouts, I thought that was it, and I was so dizzy anyway. I said, "You know what, I'm done." And so I told my dad I was going to drop out of school, and he asked me if I was sure, and I said, "Yeah." And that was kind of the way my dad parented. He would tell us what he thought was best, but he would let us make our own decisions. And that was what I did. I dropped out, and so anyway, at the end of the school year, I would still go up to the school periodically because I missed being in school, and I had a couple friends there. And I went up to see my friend. John, and I was walking through the halls, and I ran into the basketball coach, and I'd never talked to him. I just dropped out and disappeared. And so when I saw him this particular day at the end of the year, he looked at me and we made eye contact, and he said, "What happened to you?" He's like, "I had you all penciled in and everything." And so anyway, I said all that just to say I know I would have made the team. It's funny because my last video I talked about dropping out of high school. This is kind of a continuation of some of the circumstances. But anyway, I don't even remember why I started talking about this. But anyway, tonight I ended up shooting around, or earlier today, and felt really good. And the main reason I did it is because they canceled basketball tonight, so I'm just gonna do my weightlifting. I wasn't even gonna do this because I thought, you know what, they canceled basketball, I might as well just have a day off. But then I thought, you know what, I kind of want to stick with the. I want to see what it'll feel like tomorrow when I play ball, because normally on Fridays I'm coming in from Thursday night having lifted and played the day before, so I kind of want to see what it's like just having lifted. You know, is my body gonna feel different? So. If I didn't do anything and I felt great, I wouldn't know if it's because I didn't lift or because I didn't play basketball or both, you know. So kind of just keeping one of the variables constant. So anyway, 95 pounds on the bar. Man, that set seemed like it lasted forever. Yeah, I was just kind of thinking about how my dad has said, "Why don't you go talk to the coach?" And it's not like I stopped playing ball. I've been playing ball for years ever since then. So I could have played ball that year. But I didn't listen to my dad. I thought, nah, it'd never work. And it was just a lesson, you know. Sometimes we might think, and I respected my dad, and he knew a lot, and I appreciated his advice on things. But practically speaking, sometimes it was kind of like, oh, I enjoy listening to my dad. I enjoy listening to, you know, different ideals that he has and different opinions. But, you know, people, our parents know things, and I wish I would have listened. So, you know, if you're younger, or even, I guess, older, you know, your parents don't always know the best thing in a certain situation, but sometimes they do. So listen. So anyway, I was just thinking about got on one of my iconic outfits. I say iconic because when I was younger, I used to always wear them. They used to call them swishy pants, and I played ball in them all the time because I liked playing in pants because it kept my legs warm. And I used to jump a lot when I was younger. You know, when I was younger, I could dunk, and inevitably, I guess when you're jumping hard and in a certain way, you know, you can have knee pain. So I had knee pain, but I found when I wear pants, it helped my knees to feel warmer. So anyway, all right, 115. I don't know. I may do a partial rep set today too, but we'll see. I did one earlier, so but with a little higher weight. Yeah, I think, man, if I would have listened to my dad, I probably would have went and talked to the coach and ended up being on the team. And who knows what would have happened? Just had a fun experience. Maybe it could have led to um, some things that I never know about. And it's funny because to into my 40s, I still have this dream. It's recurring, and it's different settings. But I'll either be in school trying to get all my credits together so I can graduate, and I never end up doing it. I always end up like failing some classes, or I'm always behind, or I'm going out for the team, and I never make it. Not that I get cut, but I don't get through the tryouts, or it's just always big to do list in my dream, and I got to make the team, get my grades together. And I always wake up, I never end up doing it. So, all right, I got 135. Yeah, I can tell it's the end of the week. My legs burning tonight. So curious as to what will happen if I keep going in the fashion that I'm going with this plan. At least for the first, I said I've been doing this since when? The beginning of the year? Or maybe sometime in February. But so far, it's so good. I mean, I'll go 5 days. I take 2 days off. And then when I get to in the beginning of the start of the next week of training, I always feel pretty good. So maybe I can do this for a long time. We'll see. And going up 5 pounds a month in weight seems doable. I mean, people talk about putting 100 pounds on their squat realistically in a year. I'm talking about 60 pounds, 5 pounds a month in a year, doing that for 3 years. That's 180 pounds. Plus what I got on, I just wonder, the 3 years is going to pass. Either the world is going to be gone, or I won't be in this world, or I will be here. The world will still be going. We still will have certain freedoms in this country, and I will have made it. So I'm just wondering, curious. We'll see. I want to keep on going with it. You may not be able to make your high school team no more because you graduated, but you can make your own team. You can have your own goals. You can modify your goals. That's one thing I've learned and noticed as I've gotten older. Yeah, I had certain goals when I was younger. I wanted to make it to the NBA. I wanted to do this or that. But God can modify your goals and give you goals that will make you much happier. It's kind of like when you think about a certain girl you liked or something like that, and then when you get older, you realize, man, if I would have ended up with that girl, I don't think I would have been very happy. So I think God has a way of adjusting things, which is, I guess, kind of ties into what I was talking about yesterday with I wanted to go to this certain college, but I ended up in another college that to this day I love. I like driving past, and it's where I met my wife. So, but yeah, what would have happened if I keep on going? Let's see, 155. right, 170. 170 pounds, no gloves. So I got one more set, actually two sets. I got the 135 I'm about to do, and then body weight. I was looking at my hands. My hands look kind of strange. Anyway, 135. All right, body weight set. Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that was tough. Those last couple reps. Oh man. All right. I'm done recording. I'm gonna do some leg extensions that I will not record. Hopefully play ball tomorrow, and hopefully again on Monday. And then the plan is to record again on Tuesday. It's all right. I hope everything is well with anybody who's watched this. If you need anything, I pray that God will provide it for you, whether it's health or concern for a loved one, or some sort of mental issue or a physical issue or something you've been dealing with, lack of sleep, whatever it is, just pray that God will assist you, lead you to a solution, and also just comfort you and encourage you while you're going through whatever situation it is, whatever it is. I don't know, but he does. All right.